So yeah, we're just would I love to be able to go out
What
and
is
get
the
the
reason for
skill
getting a
set?
compensatory pick for just a player, a free agent signing somebody else? I don't understand that.
It's a player of what would be the NFL would consider a high caliber player that is leaving for the free. You are not trading them and you are not willingly cutting them. They are walking for free. And so you and your team should be compensated to fill your roster because you are not able to move them in a way that helped compensate you.
I thought it was if they were like a restricted free agent and you didn't tender them.
Unrestricted.
Unrestricted means they can walk away for free, though.
Exactly. That's why you're being compensated.
Okay. Free agency is confusing.
Free agency can be confusing.
I'm gonna fact check you next week. I'm
I,
not gonna search it
I'm
now, but
gonna fact check him right now.
You can. That's fine. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter on the restricted or unrestricted. Restricted free agent. If I am remembering correctly, which I don't think I am, has something to do along the lines of contracting and tendering. Much like
It's it's for salary, playing time, and postseason honors.
the compensation or
That's what the
restricted.
formula is based on. So if a team loses more key free agents than it gains, so if they gain more players that had more than them, then they get a pick, or lose the compensatory pick or something like that.
Right, which is where it comes to equaling out on. So we lost Juan and we lost Juju, but we're getting back Charles and we're getting back Juwan. So
Mm-hmm.
those picks that we would get for Juan and Juju are canceled out. We do not get compensatory picks for them.
Gotcha.
Makes sense. There you go. So I don't think the restricted or unrestricted has any sense on compensation value.
But it
And it's
does though
way
for Lamar.
no. That's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
That is franchise tag. That is
but it
so there's
would
the
still be
exclusive and the transitional. So those that's a totally different thing. So when you're franchise tagging somebody to the exclusive franchise tag, that means you. So if I'm
but
the
technically
Ravens,
he's still a free agent because he has not signed that.
no, no,
He
he
still
is
has to
it.
sign that though.
He doesn't have a choice.
He does have a
If
choice. He
you
can
are
sit out the whole
if
entire year.
you can, but that means you are still not able to negotiate until the league year ends next season
Gotcha.
in 2024. So they put the transitional on him. Since it's the transitional, it's in his best interest to sign it because that means he can deal with other teams. So the Ravens, if they had given him the exclusive franchise tag, that means that the Baltimore Ravens are the only team that can work a contract with Lamar Jackson until the 2023-2024 season ends or until the deadline of the franchise tag is hit. There is the deadline there. In a transitional tag, which is what the Baltimore Ravens have placed on Lamar Jackson, that means that any team can offer Lamar a contract. If Lamar Jackson takes said contract or accepts it, the Baltimore Ravens have, I believe, 72 hours to match. It's either 48 or 72 to match said deal that was accepted. If they decide to match, then Lamar Jackson is automatically a Raven by proxy through the deal that he had accepted for another team. If nobody offers, he can still work a deal out with the Ravens, or once the franchise tag is up at the end of the season, then he would be an unrestricted free agent. Or they could franchise him to the exclusive tag if they decided that they wanted to use that.
I think I'm
So
just
those are
mixing up all the
yeah.
sports
So the
free
franchise
agency
tags
modes.
and the free agent are two totally different things.
Free agency and all the sports are so much different. They have the
I
same
was there.
lingo and everything, but they don't
It's
work the same
weird.
way.
Nope.
Not
Any
far, not as
uh,
far as like tags or anything, but like restricted free agents and unrestricted free agents, stuff like that.
it doesn't. Yeah, the restricted and unrestricted has there's a little bit that goes along with it in the NFL, but realistically, at the end of the day, unrestricted and restricted free agency doesn't necessarily hold the same, if any, uh, power as it does in like the NBA per
Yeah.
se.
I think they change the rules every year.
It it can be finicky. It can be finicky. Is there any free agency deals that you guys saw that you were super enthralled with for other teams? Andy Dalton's going
It's
to Miami.
it's the early stages, man, but I don't think there's been any needle movers out there. Uh, no guys, no guys are signing that are really going to make a huge difference on their team on the teams that they're signing with. I think the closest one um, is the Niners signing that the D lineman.
Hargrove, Hargrave.
Yeah,
Brave.
I
It's a
think
big
that's the
one.
closest thing that's going to be a big impact. But the quarterbacks that are getting signed, they're all mid. I don't think I don't think
Two
any of
minutes
them are
ago
going to
from
make.
Jeremy Fowler, James Robinson to the Patriots.
Not a needle
Yeah,
mover.
Not a needle
I
mover, but
mean,
he's
It's
as long as
good.
he
that's
It's
stays
good,
healthy,
but
he's the number one
that
running
team is
back.
rounding out behind a very mid quarterback.
And they did just bring again. They also brought in Juju, very mid quarterback, like Tybo said, but they're putting a team around him to at least give him no excuses to not be competent, which he has not been competent up to this point. But he's also had guys like uh, Jacoby Myers, who's not competent, and your number one wide receiver.
Didn't he just sign somewhere else?
Jacoby, yes, he
yeah.
went to the Raiders after
That's
basically
right.
giving them a win during the regular season.
Yeah,
For another mid
I'm
quarterback to
sure.
throw him the ball.
Sure, him and Chandler Jones are going to get along just fine.
Yeah, Jimmy G, porn star Jimmy to the Raiders. That will be fun 2 times a year. The Chargers are shopping one of the best running backs in the league in Austin Eckler.
I really like what the Bears have done so far.
Bears
If
are going
they
to be a
can,
fun team.
Yeah.
they're going to be a very fun team.
Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards as their linebacking core. That's
And the wide receiver core looking pretty strong. Darnell Mooney, you have Chase Claypool, and then they just brought back in who was it?
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. Yeah,
they
through
didn't
the trade.
bring him back in. They just traded
Right.
for him.
Yeah. One team that's going way down, the Eagles.
Yeah, they just cut ties with Darius Slay, didn't they?
Yep.
Yep. And CJ Gardner Johnson is still a free agent. Hello, Chiefs, who need a safety and
How
a
big of a
corner.
contract is he gonna garner, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing. Out of the thing about the Chiefs is like I said a little bit earlier, man, they are bringing in young guys. They are constantly talking about bringing in young guys who are maybe looking for a second contract that aren't so high up in value, and bringing in like team motivated guys. I would expect if we're going to go out for a veteran, they're going to do a low risk, medium reward type of deal, like an Adam Thielen. Is A lot of people aren't going to like that,
I
but
think
you
if
don't
we
have to give up. You don't have to give up draft capital. You
He's
don't have to
Adam
give up a
Thielen's
whole
not
lot of
young.
dollars. That's what I know. That's what I'm saying. If we're going to go out for a guy who's not going to
A
be in
a
that
guy.
25 range, they're not going to give up high draft capital and high dollar for a guy who's also not probably going to be there the entire season. You can go after a guy like Adam Thielen, who's not going to garner any draft capital. He's not going to garner a high value contract and can still be that Juju type deal where he's going to be your number 2 or number 3 receiver who can put up 700 yards and will be there for 17 regular season games and be a locker room guy as well.
I
I
think if
mean,
we
Adam
sign a new
Thielen does
receiver,
have a full season last year, but I think the chances of him playing a full season are just about as good as D Hop playing a full season.
I think if we're getting a receiver at all this year, it's only going to be a 1 year deal. I think we're going to see a lot more 1 year deals or short 2-3 year deals with outs after the first year, because next
Is that
year's
even possible with D Hop?
No, he's got a 2-year deal. If we were going to trade for him, he'd need a full-on restructure that basically pushes money to the back end of the deal, and it wouldn't be guaranteed. Um, there'd be no way to trade for D Hop and be able to get the type of deal that the Kansas City Chiefs consistently look for in veterans in this market. And especially right now with the market of wide receivers and free agency saying nobody's getting more than $12 million a year, it's not happening. It's not happening. We just saw Juju go for 12 million dollars a year. 3 years, 33, 22 and a half fully guaranteed. 22 and a half guaranteed. Like, nope. If Juju, who just had the season that he had and won a Super Bowl, is getting 11 million a year, nobody's giving up a second round pick for D Hop. There's not 31 teams. Nobody is giving up a second round pick for D Hop, eating $19 million. It's not happening.
guess we'll have to wait and see.
The market is telling you where it's at.
Well, the market next year for receivers is going to explode. So, do you think getting D Hop for the 19 million and then the 14 million is worth it compared to what some of the receivers are going to get next year? Him locked into 14 mil?
If you got 10 draft picks, I think you ride the draft picks. If you're not worried about a veteran presence,
we could have D Hop, or we have these 10 draft picks who could be anything. They could even be D Hop.
yeah, and if they could be D Hop, you're getting them on a rookie deal that's far less than the 19 million that he's getting in 1 year. And you've got him locked up for 4 minimum. We've seen that's what Beach does. I'm just saying, not what I do. I'm just talking about what the Chiefs and Beach is doing. There's an organization who's going all out for pretty much one guy and not caring too much about what the market is saying in the New York Jets, bringing in Allen Lazard for $44 million over 4 years, 11 mil. You're also bringing in Mercedes Lewis. Go ahead.
They are? Are you reading off the list that Aaron Rodgers gave to them, or they actually signed these?
No. They signed Allen Lazard and Mercedes Lewis. They signed Allen Lazard for 4 years, $44 million. They've signed Mercedes Lewis, or the deal is almost done. If it's not,
I hate Aaron Rodgers, bro.
And then Aaron went on the Pat McAfee show today and said that his intent is to play for the New York Jets.
Mercedes Lewis is not
the balls that he just fucking carries around and just like, I can do what the hell I want because I've won 1 Super Bowl. Like, Jesus, man.
He also did not make that list. If you listen to the whole entire show,
he didn't.
No, that's just people putting that out there. Like, he's a very arrogant guy, but he didn't make that list. And the only sports media personality that he talks to is Pat McAfee. So if you see people saying stuff about him, it's people
making shit up. Adam Schefter to lose his number.
Yeah.
Okay, so they didn't Mercedes Lewis. I thought I had seen that, but wrong.
He's drawing interest just because of the list.
Randall Cobb
Isn't Mercedes Lewis like fucking dead? Like,
he's 39 years old.
In the league for
he is old, man.
20-something years, bro. How is he still playing? Is he still on Jacksonville?
No.
Where's he been?
No, that was Evan Ingram. That was Evan Ingram. Calm down.
Oh.
Who had a career year? Put some respect on Evan Ingram's name. Went out and got himself.
Congratulations. He didn't have an injury derail his entire season. Look,
Now got himself a
counterpoint.
bag.
He came back from injury and he played a full season or something like that.
And then he got a bag, and now he's going to be out.